Alrighty, so E3 is done and over with, and we got a plethora of games that were announced, and among them are some games I'm really looking forward to playing later this year in 2019 and into 2020. But overall I'm seriously really excited about some of these games. There was a lot of cutscenes and cinematics at this E3, sadly, so hopefully we see more gameplay for some of these games that didn't show us any gameplay. But overall, I'm really excited about some of these games, and the games I'm going to be talking about are ones I'm personally going to be buying. There are some later in the video that I'm iffy about buying at the moment, but most of the games I'm going to be talking about are ones that I personally am going to buy. So I'm not just talking about games that, hey, these look cool, but games I'm actually, interested in and going to be following. Alright, so first up is the Destroy All Humans remake. So at the E3 we actually got to see some gameplay of this, and it was only a live conference type thing, like where there was a Q&A type thing asking one of the, I think it was a THQ Nordic maybe, or it was someone that was involved somehow. Okay, anyways, so they showed us a decent amount of gameplay, and it was pretty much just Crypto going around blowing buildings up and Marines and tanks, and he got shot a couple times. The guy that was playing, he got shot a lot, so I'm not sure if they were just had a live thing on someone that was just playing the game or something. The footage wasn't extremely HD either, so it would be nice to see some of that, like it was not just like you're watching it off Twitch or something, but I'm hoping we get to see a little bit more on that. Alright, so next up I got Crash Take Team Racing, and yes, this was not at E3, but this is one that is coming out, next week or something, or it's really soon, or 2 weeks from now, but I'm really looking forward to playing this, and I'm going to be making probably 2 or 3 videos on it, long play, multiplayer, some stuff like that. Honestly, this game reminds me a lot of Mod Nation Racers, and I love Mod Nation Racers, and it looks like a blast to play, split screen or just campaign and unlocking all these cool characters and carts and stuff, so yeah. Next one is one I have to talk about because this is going to be my game of the year whenever it comes out. I'm hoping it's next year, but that is Battle for Bikini Bottom, the remake, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. And yeah, I have to talk about this just shortly. This is a game that was my childhood. Honestly, this was the game that I loved. I mean, everything about it was just so much fun. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to this, and yeah, that's it on that one. So next up I got Cyberpunk 2077. And honestly, this didn't show us anything major, I would say, this E3. It was just mostly, cutscenes, cinematic stuff. Of course, everyone was so crazy about Keanu Reeves, but honestly, for me, that didn't make me want to get the game any more or less. Stuff I've heard about the game is what makes me want to get the game, and gameplay I've seen, that's what makes me want to get this game already. So we've seen lots of gameplay for it, and it looks good. It's first person, it's in the future, there's lots and lots of different choices you can make. Customization's crazy, so honestly, this is a game I'm excited to pick up, and that comes out next year in spring. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Also, I didn't mention Destroy All Humans, that's coming out next year, but we don't know when, so hopefully that's coming out probably, I'm guessing, summer or fall, because there's a lot coming out in spring of 2020, so hopefully they don't come out in spring, because they have a lot to compete with if they do. Alright, so next one up that I'm really excited about is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Now, I loved playing the first game so much, and the second one was pretty fun too, but going back to the first one, man, I mean, there was just so much about it, like playing from a roster of like around 20 to 30 characters, different abilities, different dialogue options when you're speaking to people, and there's certain bosses. If you're Spider-Man talking to certain boss, then they might have different dialogue, or Deadpool, or whoever you're being, Wolverine. I'm so happy that we're getting a third one, and so in this one we have even more characters. So you have Ghost Rider, Deadpool, the X-Men, the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, the list just goes on and on and on, Daredevil, a lot. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing this game. Alright, so the only downside is that it's only on the Nintendo Switch. Thank goodness my brother owns one so we can play this in co-op, because I'm really excited to play this in co-op. Alright, so next up is Dying Light 2, and this game looks pretty fun too. There's choices you can make, and obviously there's parkouring. It's like the first game if you played the first game, but this time it looks like it's more in the northern. So maybe a little bit of snow, but honestly it looks fun. And what can you do wrong with parkour and zombies, I guess? And they did really good in the first game. I loved playing that one, so this is one I'm gonna be picking up in the spring. That's all we got, spring 2020. So, and next up I have this game that I really looking forward to. This one's called Karen, and I want to show you the trailer for this because it looks amazing. So here you go. Alright, so that was the trailer for Karen, however you say it. I have no idea how you say it. But it looks like so much fun. I'm really looking forward to this. It kind of reminds me of, you know, if you've seen the movie The Thing, it reminds me of that kind of creature, but like what the creature would look like on its home planet or something, you know? And it just the way it moves, and you got all these tentacles going everywhere, and it's like this 2D platformer, and you're just sticking people, and you're just combining into you, and you keep getting bigger and bigger. And I mean, it looks like something that's a good idea for a game, and then they just did it, but they did it right. I don't know how to explain it properly, but oh man, that's a game I'm really excited to play. Like that's in my top 3 for probably 2020 that I'm excited to play. If Battle for Bikini Bottom comes out, though, that'll be my top 1. So, alright. The next one I'm on to is Stranger Things 3, and this was not at E3 either, but Sony released a trailer for it, and this is coming out July 4th, Independence Day for the States, not for Canada. We got Canada Day on July 1st. Sad that I know for sure July 4th is Independence Day for the States, but I'm not 100% sure on what Canada Day is. I'm pretty sure it's July 1st. Anyways, so Stranger Things 3 looks fun. It's like this co-op 2D-esque beat-em-up, I think. And I didn't really get to see much of gameplay, but honestly, I'm just excited for it because it's Stranger Things. And the first game was on mobile, and it was like this beat-em-up thing, and I think this game's gonna be fun, and I think it's 2-player co-op. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that one coming out soon. All right, so next up is Psychonauts 2. So this game has been a decade old, the first one, and honestly, the second one looks really good. So it's like this 3D platformer, but you go inside people's minds and you have to fix what's wrong with them. Like there's certain things wrong with them, and you're like, all right, how do I fix what's inside of your head? And the Milkman always comes into my mind when I think of Psychonauts. And I can't explain it to you unless you played the game, and I don't want to spoil it if you haven't played the game. So honestly, that game is so interesting. The combat, it's not really combat based, it's more just psychological and 3D platforming and good story and good writing, and that's why you would want to play it. So if that interests you, I would highly recommend picking up the first game, and you can get it cheap on Steam or wherever. Okay, well on Steam I know you can get it cheap, but I don't know where else you can get it cheap. It's Microsoft only title. So yeah, honestly, the second one looks really good, and I'm guessing we're gonna see more of the same and just updated graphics, and that's all we need. So yeah. Alright, so next is The Outer Worlds, and this is coming out in October 25th, alongside of another game I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. But The Outer Worlds looks really fun. The people that made this game are the people that made Fallout New Vegas and Pillars of Eternity. They are very RPG based, and they like to give you choices. This game reminds me of Fallout and Borderlands kind of mixed together. Not really loot based, but it's like a little bit of a combination of both. So I don't know, I'm really looking forward to playing this. It looks good, and you know, it's in good hands from the developers, because they know what they're doing. So alright, so next up I got Bloodlines 2 or Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I'll talk about the first game. The first game was awesome. Okay, it's like the story-based game that you're just a new blood vampire, and you have no idea what's going on, and you're just trying to figure out who to trust, who's not to trust, and the writing behind it, and the quests, and the gameplay, and the environments, and the characters, and it's just all so good. It's just the combat that sucked. I would say the combat was very lacking in that game. The second game looks pretty good, and it's in good hands. The people that talk about the game, they're really passionate about their game, so I think it'll be pretty good. I'm not sure when it comes out, but I'm excited to see what will happen with it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that when it comes out. Yeah. Alright, so next up is Darksiders Genesis. So this is one that THQ announced alongside Destroy All Humans and Battle for Bikini Bottom. This is like a top-down ARPG action. You can play this co-op or single player, but it's also a platformer. So it looks really interesting in that sense, because you can, just the way you move and shoot, and I don't know, I really like it. It kind of reminds me of Diablo, and a lot like if you've played Alien Nation on PS4. It just looks good. These games get me. I love ARPGs that aren't too grindy and can just get you into the game, and you don't have to spend thousands of hours into them. Like almost an arcade or ARPG, if you will, because I don't want to spend thousands of hours trying to get the best gear. I don't really care about that stuff, to be honest. I just want to get in, play the game, sink my teeth into it, and just have a good time, and not have to grind for hours trying to get this one shiny golden weapon of the morning star that was set on the northern eastern shores of aeons old battlefield. Yeah, I really like ARPGs, so that ties me in, and I'll be picking this up for sure whenever it comes out. So that brings me into Minecraft Dungeons, which is another ARPG that is co-op, and I will only be playing this co-op because my siblings love Minecraft, so yeah, we'll definitely be playing this when it comes out, and I'm excited to play that as well. I don't really have much to say about it. It looks good, but I'm probably more excited for Darksiders Genesis. Alright, so that brings me into a game that I was really unexpected to see at E3. This game is something that I never really thought about, and honestly, if any other developer was doing this game, I would not be interested in this game. That being said, the game I'll talk about the series a bit. So the game, well, first I'll say, the game is Baldur's Gate 3. But I want to talk a bit about why this game interests me. So Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, I played a lot as a kid, and I loved that. And I found out later that it's all tied into Dungeons and Dragons. But this game looks so much fun. I don't know what it is. Baldur's Gate 3 is being... like, the trailer was rather disturbing, if you will. There are these creatures called the Mind Flayers, and essentially, from what I know about a Mind Flayer, I could be completely wrong, but they like to constantly want more knowledge. And so from this, it looks like they're just creating more and more of them and trying to take over, essentially. But what really interests me about this game is that it's being made by Larian Studios, and Larian Studios made Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, and these games are amazing for their combat. This is what I love about their games, is the combat, and kind of their funny sense of humor in the games, and the characters' writing is hilarious. exact times. And the guy in charge, the CEO or whoever he is I find him to be such a genuinely good man. Like, he just seems such a happy guy. Every time I've seen him, he is always happy and smiling. He's an awesome guy, guys. And if you watch a dev blog, which they released a couple days ago, he's just talking about the game, and he's so ambitious and so excited about it. It's so good to see. And anyways, I'll talk a bit more about the game, or a bit more about Original Sin. What I liked about Original Sin is you can take, like, let's say you have an oil spell, you can throw it on the ground and then ignite it with flames. And it's just so cool how it all works together. Like there were things that you wouldn't think of in terms of like, they wouldn't be in this game. Like, there's just water on the ground, and then all of a sudden you cast an electricity spell and it stuns all the enemies in it and does massive damage, and you're like, this is awesome. So then everything kind of works together like that. It's just, I love that combat in that game. So this is why I'm so excited to play Baldur's Gate 3. Anyways, let's move on to a topic that I'm sad is not in. I'm just sad we didn't get to hear anything on it at E3. Not even a teaser, not showing anything for it, and that is Fable 4. So I'm really wanted to see anything for Fable 4, because I've heard rumors that Jack of Blades is going to be back, and maybe it's going to be like a prequel to the first game. Oh man, like, I really want to see what Fable 4 is about, or maybe you go back in time or something. Maybe it's not even called Fable 4, maybe it's called something else, but this is something I really wanted to see, because I'm hoping that it's back to type kind of around the Fable 1 era. Even if it was between the Fable 1 and Fable 2 era, that would be fine, or even before the Fable 1 era. It would just be good to be back in those times where armor mattered. Not really guns, but crossbows and bows and swords and axes and hammers. We have everything you need right here. Anyways, this is something I'm really looking forward to, and I'm really hoping to hear news on it in the future. Alright, so this brings me on to another subject that I didn't think I'd be talking about, but for some reason I am, and that is the Terraria update. And this was hilarious because people were talking about it back and forth. Like, it seemed like the majority of the audience wanted to see the Terraria update. I'm like, okay, what is this? Why is it going to be so good? And I was kind of confused by why so many people wanted to see it, because it didn't look like it was crazy innovative. But I think I'm going to come back and play this game again. So at some point I plan to play Terraria again. It did make me want to play Terraria again, so I got that. Alright, so Borderlands 3. It looks pretty good. What can I say about it? It looks good. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up on release, because there's so many games coming out around fall time. I'm just going to have to check release dates on stuff and see if I'm able to pick this up, because there are so many games coming out and I don't got millions of dollars to spend. Okay, let's be realistic. Hundreds of dollars to spend. Probably thousands. Probably just hundreds. Well, if you're getting limited editions of everything, you're going to need thousands of dollars, but it's hundreds of dollars. So hopefully I'm able to pick up Borderlands 3, but that's more on my list if I don't have enough money for things, because I still got to play through Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel and DLC, so I've got so much content for Borderlands. Yeah. Alright. The next game coming up is coming out the exact same day as Outer Worlds, and I don't know which game I'm going to play first, because I really like the looks of this game, and it is called Medieval, PS4. This was not announced at E3, but I'm really, really looking forward to this game. This game looks like so much fun. So if you've seen anything if you've played the first game, or if you've seen gameplay or a let's play for it, and that's what I did, is I saw someone doing like a kind of a let's play / review type of it. The platforming looks like so cool in this updated one. Like, the platforming, the environment looks absolutely stunning. The gameplay, like, you got the sword and got these hammers, and actually, you know what introduced me to Medieval was PlayStation All-Stars way back when that came out in like 2012 or something, or 2011. And I started playing that character, and I just found him hilarious, man. Like, the way he talks, So I'm really looking forward to playing this game, because I was looking for that game before and it was on the PS1 and I don't own one, so it'll be cool to play this game and just see what Medieval's all about. I mean, it looks like a beautiful game. It reminded me of the Crash and Spyro remakes, so I'm really excited to play this. Alright, so next game up is a little game that is inspired by none other than Fable. And these actually have developers that worked on Fable, and lo and behold, this game looks amazing. It looks very fun, and it's currently in early access, and it's early access on Steam, and I'm really looking forward to its full release and getting a chance to play it when it's fully released out. You can buy it and go into early access, but just for my own sake, I don't really like doing early access. I like to play games when they're 100% complete, so. But there's just something about the game itself, like the art style, the music, everything about it. I really like the feel of it. So overall, I'm really looking forward to playing it, and I hope it turns out well. And from what I've seen from comments, people are really liking what they're playing. So I have a lot of faith in these guys, and this is good. It's a taste of Fable that I think I need it, and maybe some of you need too. So, alright, so next up I got Ghostwire Tokyo, and this game looks like it has a lot of potential. We only got to see a cinematic, but what a cinematic slash cutscene this was. I loved this. Out of all the cutscenes I saw, this was the one that I really liked. Like, it was just so well done, I feel like. So, alright, so first I gotta talk about the Bethesda conference, because it was pretty hard to watch. Well, at least with a straight face, because I was laughing throughout most of it. I don't know if it was supposed to be a comedy or if we were supposed to take this seriously, but the people screaming, "Yeah!" throughout the entire thing, and just super excited about nothing, and honestly, it was hilarious. I gotta show you a couple clips because it is just insane.
Thank you very much. How are you? Tamriel. Thank you. All the new players in Tamriel. The latest chapter. And if next, check out the world premiere. That's right, the legendary Redguard Swordmaster, a group of which will complete the season of the Dragon, which you'll see in August. Thank you. But
alrighty, so that was the clip. The guy going, "Yeah!" That's the guy that got me the most, man. The standing ovations helped, but honestly, you know what, like the picture I'm showing here, this is exactly what I felt like when I was watching this. You know when SpongeBob's just mopping the floor, and then people are just clapping after everything he's doing. They're like, "Yeah, woo!" And then he starts sweeping, and they're throwing roses up at him and stuff. That SpongeBob episode, I just kept going back and forth in my mind between that episode and watching this conference. Anyways, let's carry on. So, alright, so Ghostwire Tokyo, it looks pretty interesting. I think it has definitely some potential behind it, and it's probably going to be like a horror type game. So maybe I don't know what it's going to be about. It could be about anything, because you can make cinematics about one thing, and then, you know, like if you've seen League of Legends cinematics, they have nothing to do with the game, you know. Or ESO, MMOs and MOBAs are the worst for that. So yeah, anyways, that's one I'll keep my eye on, but I'm not 100% sure on what's going to happen with it. Next is, or last, I should say, next and last is Doom Eternal. And this game really interested me because we have, it's like it's going back to kind of its roots. You go and like to one up, like he was picking up one ups and power ups and stuff like that. And I got kind of, I know people might get a little angry at me for saying this, but it reminded me of Time Splitters. You know, when you used to play Time Splitters and you got like speed ups and these power ups and multiplayer and stuff. I'm gonna get this game, I'm pretty sure, because it just looks fun. I mean, you just chainsawing through demons and just blowing people up, and honestly, it looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, that was the last game. Last thing that I want to talk about, I guess it's truly the last thing, is there's speculation of this new Lord of the Rings game that's coming out, and it's going to be based on Gollum's life, and that's something that really interests me, so I hope we see something on that in the future. Who knows when we'll hear about it, but yeah. So that's everything I got, and hopefully there's some games that you saw that I've talked about that interest you. You know, hopefully you got something from this, and I hope you did anyway. Obviously I didn't cover every game. There were like 50 plus announced, so you know, I just wanted to show you guys the ones I was interested in, and honestly this was hard to make, so this video, I mean, so hopefully it all works out through editing, because I'm really hoping it does, and hopefully I get this video out soon to you. I don't know when I will, but yeah, this is me signing off, so hopefully you enjoyed. Alright, well, see you guys next time I see you. Alright, bye.
Yeah, it's time to split.
We'll kick your ass!